There we go.
Yep, it's working. Okay. So, Abby, last time we started reading the story titled The Plight of the Polar Bear, right? What do you remember from the story so far?
I remember that they talk about where they live and and their place. I don't know. I forgot. It's been 2 days since we did it.
Yeah, I know. But so, you said that you remember where they live. Do you remember how that place is called?
Arctic.
Arctic. It's Arctic tundra, right? I would like you to look over the map of the polar bears that you did last time. It was our concept map. And you told me many things about polar bears, right? You want to take a look at that? So that could help us.
Can I
remember.
tell them?
Yes, you may.
They live in the Arctic. They eat fish and seals. Their color of their fur is white. They're large. They have sharp teeth to chew their food. They can swim. They live with penguins. There's no trees there. They live in the North Pole. Their fur keeps them warm. They never hibernate.
Good. So far in the story, all that we read about is where they live, and you said it was the Arctic tundra, right? What can you tell me about Arctic tundra? What kind of a place that is?
Arctic tundra. It's I forgot.
Do you remember if that's an easy place to live, or is it a difficult?
It's not.
Why not?
It's not good because it's always dark there, and all there is seals and penguins and polar bears there, and all there is snow, no trees.
And what does it mean when there's no trees?
That there's no air.
There is air, but do you remember that fact we read about with wind?
No, I don't remember.
There is really, really windy, right? And if we don't have...
To block it.
Yes, to block it. If we have no trees, there's nothing to block the wind, right? And then you said it's usually very dark there. Why is it?
Because it's covered with clouds and the sun never comes up.
Do you remember when it never comes up? Was it in the winter or in the summer?
Summer. Well, winter.
Winter, right? There are days when it never comes up. Okay, good. So what we're doing today, before we get to learn about new words that we're going to read in the story, is that, as we've talked about last time, we're going to keep doing summaries, right? And we have that graphic organizer right here. So I want you to look at it for a second and remind me, what does it mean to do a summary of a story?
It means you squish who, what, when, where, why into sentences.
Into sentences? And what's important? Do we write down all the details from the story?
No.
No.
You only write from here, or you can find it from the book.
So you just find the most important information. Okay, good. So that's what we'll keep doing with our sections. Let's look at the words also that we have. Let's look at the first one.
Fast.
Fast. And before you read that sentence right here, tell me, what do you think this word means?
It means you run, like you speed.
You're quick, you speed. Good, that's one understanding of that word. Do you remember what does that V mean here?
Verb.
Verb, right? So to be quick, that would be an adjective. This is a verb. That means that people do something. So let's read a sentence with that word and try to figure out what it means from that. Patience.
Patience for fast for 6 hours before hunting the
Procedure. Patients must fast for 6 hours before having the procedure. So what does it mean? They have to fast before they have a procedure.
What is a procedure?
Procedure, it would be like an operation. If they're in the hospital, when they have to have something fixed, right? So what would that mean?
Taking off my
Okay. Well, let's look at the definition in the back here. What does it say?
To not eat or eat very little food.
To not eat or eat very little food. So if patients fast for 6 hours before operation, that means that what?
Means not to eat very little food or not to eat.
Yeah, so they can't eat much before having the procedures. That's usually one of the requirements when you go to the hospital, and they'll tell you, oh, like we'll have to do procedure on your hand or your leg or sometimes on your heart. You can't eat before that, okay? So the first word was fast.